Hi, all of you. Today is it's September 10th, 2024, and we're gonna go take another drive in this Mercury because I know some of you didn't like when I drove in the rainy weather, but now today is a nice day. It's a nice day today. Well, the hood is open because I wanted to show you the engine. That's why. Here's the engine of the car. I kind of wiped it down a bit, so yeah, I cleaned it a little bit. I tried to anyway. I did the best. But and then the oil's good because this is the wire right here. I guess it's the wire to the that's the oil pressure sanding unit. It's this wire that was causing that engine light to come on. This wire is kind of loose. It's loose. And I have to try to, this is the wire that's making the engine light come on. And so if I wiggle it, it turns off. I'll show you right now. I'm gonna turn on the car. Well, it'll start now because battery's pretty charged from the other day, a couple days ago. So yeah, it better start. Yeah, no problem. See, I just needed to exercise the car. See, there's the engine. Oh yeah. Okay, well, because I just put water on the engine, that's why. Okay, here's the engine light. I'm gonna show you right now. When I wiggle it, it's gonna turn off. Watch, it's gonna be off right now. See that? See, the engine light turned off as soon as I wiggled that wire. See that? I have to, I've just been too lazy. I've just been too lazy to put a new wire over it. Well, one of the reasons why I've been kind of lazy is because it's hard to reach in there. That's why. It's just this wire that needs to be fixed. But anyway, so I'm gonna go out for another drive again. So I washed the car, if you guys probably noticed it. So we're gonna go drive this a little bit around the block since it's not legal. Just gonna drive it around a little bit to exercise it some more. So yeah. The windows, unfortunately, doesn't even open. I think this is the only one that works. The rest of them, it doesn't open. You know, I don't know what's going on with that. I think it's just stuck because it's like it needs to be. How to call it? Ouch. So now, see, now you don't see any engine lights now. So. Yeah, it's a little tricky to get this car out because the curbing, I'll show you what I'm talking about. It's tricky to get the car out because the curb is right here. I don't want to run into the curb. Yeah, because the last owner of this house, they put cement all the way across so that way we could fit 4 cars side by side. But the cars that I don't use much is the one that I put on this side, and then of course I have the cover. I have this cover, but it's old. I have to replace the covers every few years because they get deteriorated, you know. So okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and go. So yeah. Anyways, so yeah, gotta get it out. Gotta get it out. So yeah, I don't want to run and I don't want to be jumping curbs now. So yeah. Anyways, yeah, it gets really hot in this car, man. I'm just gonna drive it around the block only because I don't want to drive it far. Well, for one thing, it's hot in here. because nothing works in this car. The air conditioner apparently don't work. So the tape player. It runs and drives really good. It's always been that way. This car has always drove really good. The engine light, as you can see it's not on. That was actually the oil pressure sending unit that connects to this light. Yeah. This car does not have an OBD system of any kind. I mean, it was like a luxury for some cars to have that back then, but it would be what they call the OBD1 system. But I mean, like, yeah. You know, this is like acts kind of as my air conditioner right now. The air flowing through me to me. So yeah, I want to drive around a little bit, just around the block. But, I mean, I don't really want to drive too far. I probably wouldn't really be worrying about the cops or anything, you know, like. But anyways, I'm just gonna go ahead and. I'm gonna go ahead and put on the seat belt so I can drive into the streets. Yeah. Here you go. This is the seat belt of the car. Remember these? Well, yeah, that's the seat belt. That's the way. I think they all look the same in today's time, you know. So yeah, I'm gonna drive around a little bit of it so I could exercise it more. So yeah. Nice it runs and drives. It's really nice. I mean, it rides really good, man, I tell you. Well, it seems like it's been running really good ever since I replaced the exhaust on this car. Yeah, it sounds more quiet, more smoother, you know, like, yeah. Anyway, so yeah. So yeah. Telling you. So yeah. Telling, well, I'm back in my area. I'm gonna try to stick my phone out here. Well, it's kind of hard to point at anything in this car, but anyways. Well, I'm gonna stop the car. I'm gonna park it. I gotta back it up a little bit. Okay. Yeah, you know what? Well, you know what? Like on this car. Well, on this car, like the little shifter indicator, it doesn't work. As you can see it, I moved this, but this little shifter indicator doesn't work. So I have to guess. I have to guess where the gears are at. And another thing about this car too is like sometimes it tends to get off. It tends to like go onto gear. Even though I'm on park, so the car tends to roll, so I have to be careful with that. I mean, the air conditioner doesn't work at all, of course. And then, of course, like the other day, I had mice going into this car, and somehow they were putting dog food like in the blower motor area, and then when I turned it on, it destroyed the blower motor, the fans, the little blade. So it doesn't have one now. So I mean, it doesn't have a fan blade in there anymore. So yeah. Anyway, so And then this car has a fuel door, a remote fuel door. And then it even has a remote trunk. Yeah, has a remote trunk. And then the lights are over here, and then the power window switch is here. And then the power sheet, it does have a power sheet for the driver's seat only though. And then these mirrors are remotely controlled here and on the other side as well. And then this is the, apparently these cars don't have cup holders. So yeah. So this car is like these things fell off on both sides. I mean, it's like it has really cheap plastic, and I don't know when I'm gonna fix this, but this came off on both sides of the car. See, I have one here, and then the other one is in there. So there's the way the back. Over the years, though, it's like the car. I mean, the interior kind of like faded away over the years. One of these days, I mean, I don't know what I'm gonna do. See, this is the trunk of the car. And then, well, these are the original wheel covers. They're the original ones, but I wanted these kinds. I ordered these on eBay because I wanted to put hubcaps that were exactly on the car that I used to have when I was younger. You know, I wanted to make this car be as much as like my old car or the car I had, you know. And the car I had, it had this style of hubcaps. So yeah. So this is a walk around the car again with engine running. So anyways, the walk around, this is nicer weather today. So yeah. Yeah, so anyways, all right, well, I hope you liked this video of my car, of my Mercury 1984. It's a 40-year-old car now, 40 years old. And I had this car for 10. I had this car exactly 10 years because I bought it on September. It was September 2014 when I bought this Mercury for $1,300 at the time I paid for it, because I looked on that on the Craigslist, and I just saw this car for sale, and then, you know, I fell interested in it because it's exactly like the car I used to have, and this one is really close to the 1983 Mercury that was white, the one that was my mom, the one that my mom gave me. I have videos up on YouTube. So yeah, it was very close. This is the closest to the car that I had. I mean, only difference is that this one's a red one. This is red, and the other, or a burgundy, and the one that I used to have, it was white. But then I put these hubcaps. To resound that were exactly the ones that I had on the other car, on my white one back in the day. So, but the difference in this car too is that this one's more luxury than the other one that I used to. The other one had a straight 6 engine, had a 3.3 liter straight or like inline 6, and this one has a 3.8 liter V6. And the other car was a carbureted engine. This one is a fuel injection. Yeah, well, you know, this car is what we know. It's what's known to be a this car, it actually has a fuel injection, but even though it looks like a carburetor, but it's not a carburetor. Well, it is a carburetor though, really. It is actually a carburetor, but instead of a mitering jet, it has an injector in it instead. I'll show you right now. Yeah, instead of a jet that spits out fuel, it has an injector instead. You see that injector right there? Yeah, electronic fuel injection, yeah. Because, you know, I never seen that until I got this car. Because even though it was advertised as a fuel injection, but it is indeed a fuel injection. But it's just the injector is just in the carburetor instead of like being a multi-point injector. So this car, yeah, like it says right here, electronic fuel injection. And you know, and I wished my 1983 Mercury was like this car, you know, back in my days, Yeah, this is a broom model. Cause this car, I mean, this was like the luxury of the cars, like my mom's old car back in the day. Cause this one has power windows, and then it has a quarter glass, and it even has a little clock display. Has a clock display, which does work. Well, the date is not the same, but and it had, well, that's the difference between the broom model. It has like power windows and little things like that, and like this quarter glass, and then it has a V6 engine, fuel injection. So yeah, but otherwise, the 1983 Mercury that I had, the seats are all exactly the same, and even the same collar too. But like I said, but mine's had the manual windows. This one has power windows. So I'm gonna start the engine up again. You know that knocking sound that it makes? I think sometimes it does that sometimes. Well, it's been doing that since day one. That little, it's not making it now, but I mean, I think it does that when the car sat for more than a few months. When it sat for a while, you know, like, so yeah. One thing about this car also is like it's starting to deteriorate there. But the car overall is in really good condition. I mean, for how old it is. For the age that this car is, I'm gonna show you the horn. That's the horn. I'm gonna show you the horn. That's the horn of the car. Another picture of my car. Well, anyway, so, well, I guess, well, I hope you liked this video and everything. I know I made a bunch of videos of driving this car around. And then, well, I made a 360-degree video of me driving this car. You guys should check it out. I mean, I could put a link to it. So, yeah, I mean, anyway, so, all right, I'll see you on the next video.